Lately, the internet's been buzzing with wild claims. Toyota invents engine that runs on water. Social media feeds, news sites, and YouTube videos are all lighting up with the same question. Is this the breakthrough we've all been waiting for? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Just pull up to a lake, fill your tank with water, and drive off into the future. No gas stations, no charging cables, just pure freedom. This idea has captured people's imaginations for decades. But now, with Toyota's name in the mix, the excitement and the speculation has reached a whole new level. People are wondering if the world's biggest automaker is about to change everything. The truth is, the concept of a water-powered car isn't new. Over the years, inventors and dreamers have tried to make it work, but so far none have succeeded. The dream has always been just out of reach. So, has Toyota finally cracked the code? Are we really about to swap our gas and electric cars for vehicles that run on tap water? Or is this just another internet myth? The reality is a lot more nuanced and honestly, even more fascinating than the viral headlines suggest. Toyota is definitely working on something revolutionary, but it's not a car that runs directly on water. The story is more complex and much more interesting. What Toyota is actually developing is cutting-edge hydrogen technology. It's about using hydrogen as a clean fuel, not water itself. There's a big difference between hydrogen-powered cars and so-called water-powered cars. They're not the same thing, even if the headlines make it sound that way. The headlines might be misleading, but the innovation behind them is very real, and it could shape the future of transportation. So, what's really going on under the hood? What is Toyota actually building, and how does it work? Before we start dreaming of endless free fuel, let's take a closer look and separate the facts from the fiction. It's time to dig deeper. Toyota's work with hydrogen could truly change the way we drive in the future, but not in the way those viral posts claim. The real story is even more exciting. Let's explore the real science happening in Toyota's labs and see how their innovations could impact the world. This is a story of genuine innovation, and it deserves to be told the right way, so let's get started. Let's clear this up once and for all. Toyota's new hydrogen vehicles do not run on water, despite what you might have heard or seen in some headlines. You can't just grab a garden hose, fill the tank with tap water, and expect to drive away. That's not how it works, no matter how simple it sounds. The reality is, these cars run on pure hydrogen gas, the H in H2O, not the water itself. Hydrogen is the actual fuel that powers the vehicle. The confusion comes from the fact that the only thing you'll see coming out of the tailpipe is water vapor. No smoke, no harmful gases, just clean steam. Water is simply the byproduct of the chemical reaction inside the fuel cell, not the fuel that goes in. The car doesn't run on water, it creates water as it runs. Think of it like this: gasoline cars emit dirty exhaust, electric vehicles emit nothing at all, and hydrogen cars emit only water vapor. It's a whole new way of thinking about clean transportation. That's why this technology is so exciting. Zero harmful emissions, just water. It's a big step forward for the environment and for cleaner cities. But remember, the fuel is hydrogen gas, not water. You need to fill up with hydrogen at special stations designed for this purpose. Hydrogen is stored in high-pressure tanks that are engineered for maximum safety so you can drive with confidence. You fill up at dedicated hydrogen stations, not with a garden hose or a jug of water from home. It's a specialized process, just like filling up with gasoline or charging an EV. The key takeaway here is that Toyota is pioneering hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, not water-powered cars, as some myths suggest. The headlines about water-powered cars might be catchy, but they're misleading and don't tell the real story. Understanding the difference between hydrogen and water as a fuel is the first step to truly appreciating this breakthrough technology. So next time you see a headline about a water-powered car, remember, it's all about hydrogen and how it's changing the future of driving. Now let's dive deeper and see exactly how this hydrogen actually powers the car and what makes the technology so revolutionary. So, how does a hydrogen car actually move? What's happening under the hood that lets it glide down the road so quietly and cleanly? The answer lies in a remarkable piece of technology called the fuel cell stack. Think of a fuel cell as a miniature power plant, but one that fits neatly inside your car. It's a device that can generate electricity on demand, right where it's needed. The process starts with hydrogen stored in a special tank and oxygen drawn from the air outside. These two elements are the key ingredients for the magic to happen. Inside the fuel cell, hydrogen and oxygen meet and undergo an electrochemical reaction. No burning, no explosions, just a controlled flow of energy. This reaction strips electrons away from the hydrogen atoms. Those freed electrons travel through a circuit, creating electricity that powers the car's electric motor. The only byproducts of this process? Electricity to drive the car, a bit of heat, and pure water, so clean you could almost drink it. Unlike battery electric vehicles which store electricity in large batteries, hydrogen cars make their own electricity as they go, turning fuel into power in real time. As long as there's a supply of hydrogen in the tank and air to breathe, the car can keep running for hundreds of miles without stopping. Imagine a special filter inside the fuel cell. Hydrogen enters on one side, oxygen on the other, separated by a thin membrane. Protons from the hydrogen pass through the membrane, while electrons are forced to take a detour through an external circuit, generating an electric current along the way. The result? Instant torque for quick acceleration, a smooth and quiet ride, and nothing but water vapor coming out the tailpipe. So yes, a hydrogen car is technically an electric car. It just makes its own electricity instead of storing it in a battery. The big difference is in how they store and use energy. Battery EVs carry electricity in heavy batteries, while hydrogen cars carry lightweight fuel and generate electricity as needed. This leads to unique advantages and challenges for each technology, from refueling times to driving range and infrastructure needs. It's not about which is better. Both are exciting, innovative paths toward clean transportation, each with its own strengths. Both aim for the same goal: sustainable, zero-emission driving that helps protect our planet for future generations. Now, let's explore why hydrogen is so appealing as a fuel: its abundance, fast refueling, and potential for clean energy. And let's also look at why hydrogen isn't a perfect solution just yet. There are still hurdles to overcome before it can go mainstream. Why consider a hydrogen car? The biggest perk: refueling time. Hydrogen cars fill up in about 5 minutes, just like gasoline, while EVs can take much longer to charge. Range is another plus. Hydrogen cars can go 300, 400 miles per tank, and cold weather doesn't sap their performance like it can with batteries. Hydrogen fuel cells use fewer rare minerals than big EV batteries, potentially making them more sustainable. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, so supply isn't a problem. For heavy vehicles, trucks, buses, hydrogen systems are lighter than massive batteries, making them more efficient for hauling cargo. That's why the trucking and shipping industries are watching hydrogen closely. In short, fast refueling, long range, reliable in cold, and lighter for big vehicles. But there are hurdles to overcome. Let's talk about the biggest ones, and why we're not all driving hydrogen cars yet. If hydrogen is so great, why aren't we all driving these cars? The biggest challenge: infrastructure. Hydrogen stations are rare, mostly in California and a few other places. No stations, no cars, no cars, no stations. A classic chicken and egg problem. Building a nationwide hydrogen network is expensive and slow. Next hurdle: making hydrogen. Most hydrogen today comes from natural gas, which isn't green. It releases CO2. The cleanest method is splitting water with renewable energy, electrolysis, but it's costly and inefficient right now. Until green hydrogen is cheap and abundant, the environmental benefits are limited. Producing, transporting, and storing hydrogen safely is a huge logistical challenge. These barriers, cost, infrastructure, and clean production, are why hydrogen cars aren't mainstream yet. But the potential is there if we solve these problems. The race is on to make hydrogen truly clean and accessible. Until then, hydrogen cars will remain a niche. Let's look at another challenge: energy efficiency. How much energy do we really lose along the way? Clean energy isn't just about emissions, it's about efficiency. Battery EVs are very efficient. 70 to 80% of the original energy makes it to the wheels. Hydrogen cars, not so much. Making hydrogen, compressing, transporting, and converting it back to electricity loses a lot of energy. By the time hydrogen powers the wheels, only 25 to 35% of the original energy remains. Critics say, why not just use that electricity in a battery? Fewer steps, less waste. For most passenger cars, batteries are the more efficient solution right now. But hydrogen has advantages for heavy vehicles and as a way to store excess renewable energy. In the future, if we have abundant solar and wind, efficiency may matter less. Hydrogen could store surplus energy for use when the sun isn't shining, so it's not just about efficiency, it's about flexibility and storage too. The debate continues, but both technologies have a role. Let's see how Toyota is approaching this, and why it's not an either-or game. Is Toyota abandoning electric cars for hydrogen? Not at all. Toyota is investing in both new battery EVs, solid-state batteries, and hydrogen fuel cells. Their strategy is a portfolio approach, different solutions for different needs and regions. In cities, battery EVs make sense. For long-haul or remote areas, hydrogen might be better. Toyota is developing hybrids, plug-in hybrids, battery EVs, and hydrogen vehicles all at once. They're known for playing the long game like they did with the Prius. Their goal: carbon neutrality, using every tool available. Hydrogen isn't an attack on EVs, it's another option. The future will need many solutions, not just one. Toyota's investment in hydrogen shows their commitment to innovation. Now, let's talk about why headlines can be so misleading. In the age of viral headlines, nuance often gets lost. The water-powered Toyota story is a perfect example. Simple, catchy, but wrong. It's important to be a critical consumer of information, especially with science and tech. Exaggerated claims create confusion and unrealistic expectations. Real progress is slow and hard-won, not overnight magic. Toyota isn't killing the electric car, they're adding options for a cleaner future. The real story is more complex and more hopeful than any viral post. What's the future of cars? Battery EVs and hydrogen vehicles will likely coexist. Battery EVs are winning for daily driving, mature tech, growing infrastructure, and convenience. Hydrogen could shine in heavy-duty trucking, shipping, and places where batteries struggle. It's about using the right tool for the job, the goal: a cleaner planet and sustainable transportation. We should root for innovation on all fronts, not just one. Competition will make both technologies better and cheaper. The road ahead is long and exciting. Expect a mix of battery EVs, hydrogen vehicles, and maybe new ideas we haven't seen yet. The future is cleaner and more interesting than any headline suggests.